I have a question. How many people watched the World Cup last month? Did you enjoy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I really enjoy watching World Cup because I like soccer, and related to World Cup I saw many articles or TV programs about South Africa, and these programs always focus on how hard and tough life the people are living, and I'm curious about the reason why they are living a really hard life, and so I'm searching and I choose a topic about South Africa, and I understand these realities are related to the history of South Africa. In South Africa there is a really terrible historical event. It's called apartheid. And so today I want to talk about apartheid and Nelson Mandela, who had a great influence on the end of apartheid. And first I want to talk about the history of apartheid. South Africa was colonized by Netherlands and England from 17th century. And many Europeans came South Africa and dominated South Africa by using wealth and political control. And in 1948, South African National Party won the election in South Africa. This party supported apartheid. Apartheid is a legal racial segregation. Do you understand? So it's not just discrimination, it's legally admitted to discriminate. And since this party won the election, they made many laws to discriminate black people. One law admitted the discrimination of employment, and one law prohibited black people from using same public amenities like restaurant or hotel, and their residence land was separated from white people. These lands are called homeland. So I want to talk about homeland. Homeland government divided South Africa into a number of separate states. And these states supposed to develop as a separate nation. So each state considered as each country. But actually, these lands for black people are really small and unproductive area. So they can't make money by themselves. So black people need to depend on white people as a worker. And much worse, once this homeland was admitted as a one nation by government, they are no longer citizens of South Africa. So government take away their citizenships. This is the real purpose of the government. So they consider black people as a foreigner, even they live in South Africa. So they deprive black people of their civil rights. And this apartheid continued until 1989. So it's not old event, it's really recent event. And at that time, the white government in South Africa insisted in South Africa there are many ethnic groups. So each group has different tradition, different culture, different language. So they should develop independently. So apartheid is not segregation. Government gave opportunities to each ethnic groups to develop independently, but it's really unreasonable excuse. But I think fortunately South Africa was isolated internationally. because of apartheid. United Nations and many countries criticized the apartheid severely, and many countries refused to do business, and South African sports teams are not allowed to participate in international competition. And also in South Africa, many people continuously struggled for freedom. So in addition to this demonstration in South Africa, and international pressure greatly helped to end apartheid. And especially many experts said international pressure had a great influence to end the apartheid. So, and in 1984, government changed the laws a little because many countries had pressure. So they admitted limited rights to non-white people. And finally, in 1989, the previous president, de Klerk, declared the end of apartheid. So this is the history of apartheid. And next I want to introduce Nelson Mandela, who had a great influence on the end of apartheid. I think many people already heard about him. And he was born in 1980, so now he is 92 years old. But even if still now he struggled for human rights all over the world. And when he was 24, he joined the African National Congress. This organization was made for defense the rights of black people. And since then, he has fought against apartheid, and he became a charismatic leader in South Africa. So of course the government didn't like him because he had a lot of power and influence in South Africa. And in 1962, Nelson was arrested and sentenced to life in prison. Did you understand this meaning? And because of he was against apartheid, so he spent 27 years in jail until he was released in 1990. But he never gave up to get freedom. So even in jail, he had many people support him, and many people said he had a great influence. And in 1990 he was released, and after that he got a Nobel Peace Prize because he ended apartheid peacefully and built a basic of new South Africa. And in 1994, in South Africa, first multiracial election was held. It means for the first time in South Africa, all races are allowed to vote, because before non-white people didn't have a civil rights, so they didn't have a right to vote. And in this election, African National Congress won the election. This party was for black people, and Nelson became a president, and he served as a president from 1994 to 1999. This is the history of Nelson Mandela. I hope you can understand apartheid and Nelson Mandela. And last, I want to talk about after apartheid end, how Nelson changed the country. As he devoted himself to get the freedom, he also worked really hard to build a